What up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome to the Arrowhead Kingdom Chiefs Cast Show. Big reminder that all Chiefs fans are invited to join us for game day. Visit arrowheadkingdom.org. Learn more about the group and to find your local chapter. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel as well. We're, of course, presented by Complete Weddings and Events, your leading provider of photo, video, DJ, photo booth, lighting, and day of coordination services. Visit them at completewedo.com. And Stacy, you get to introduce yourself and tell everyone where we are.
Hi, so I'm Stacy. I'm one of the chapter leads here in Houston, and we are at Little Woodrow's Midtown, which we call Little Arrowhead on game day.
I am hot because I'm from the north. These guys think this is winter.
This is wonderful.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and shorten my name so Brian doesn't have to cut all this out in post-production. There we go. All right, so how you doing, Brian?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. We're 2-1. 2-1. How can I not be doing great?
Yeah, absolutely. Holding it down in the Thunderdome. Okay, so we have a lot of topics to cover from this last week. I think the biggest one, let's just start with the biggest story that came out, which is Usher is headlining the Super Bowl this year. What do we think of that? Brian, what are your thoughts? I'm a huge fan of Usher.
Yeah, big fan, exciting. You know what? I'm really enjoying the fact that we're rolling out more pop stars that are famous probably in our formative years of college in those early 2000s, late 2000s. I'm looking forward to a boy band someday. Usher, of course, fantastic. I'm looking forward to see what Usher brings to the party. As we all know, some of the biggest club bangers back in those days were from Usher, and you could not. Josh will tell you this: that you do a wedding, you do a party, and whenever you hear Usher's "Yeah," if you're not dancing, you don't have a fun party. That's a bad party right there.
So that's still an every week song. That's still an every week song. Every wedding has that song.
Sure.
But I do have to point out that every single year in the history of time, there's one song that dominates a year, and that was 2004. That song is 2004. You could not get through that year without that song.
No, yeah, it's going to be a great.
2003 was in the club. 2002 was hot in here. The 2004 was yeah.
It's going to be a really great halftime show. My son, he was taking a look at old halftime shows. We watched the Prince one, and that one is fantastic. We watched the Lady Gaga one, also fantastic. Yep. So, I think Usher is going to bring it. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, so anybody seen Usher live? I have. Anybody else? All right.
I loved him in Las Vegas. His Las Vegas review. This show was amazing. Usher, he has this whole retro thing going with the skating ring. And then he has this little strip thing where the women come down and he's actually shooting money and people are just going crazy. But I think it's a great hit because he already has a residency there in Las Vegas. So why not do the Super Bowl? Now we just got to get there and own Arrowhead West again.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Usher, the best way I can describe one of his live shows, he is the Bruce Springsteen of hip-hop. That dude works.
Yeah.
He works that show. I saw him at Summerfest a handful of years ago in Milwaukee, and that guy had a towel that kept getting switched out because he was just drying himself off the entire time. He was dripping sweat. I mean, that dude worked.
He works.
I'm like that whenever I eat Thanksgiving dinner, personally. So, I can relate to what Usher goes through when he performs.
Yeah, so it was Brian eating Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, second biggest story of the week. Let's make sure that we're giving all this stuff the due credit. The second biggest story of the week, the Miami Dolphins beat the Broncos by 50. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this because, to quote the Swedish strikers, Latran Ibrahimovic, we do not want to be lions thinking about the opinions of men, but Stacey, what do you think of that game, besides that it was incredible?
I was blown away. Every time I looked at the score, I'm like, is this a scoreboard mistake? What is happening? How is this happening?
I was ecstatic because at the same time, then it made me hungry. I was like, I want Miami in the AFC Championship, literally, because I feel like we're the only team in the AFC that really can give these guys a real go for it. And with our experience, I think we'll win. But I want it because Tyreek Hill, I'm a huge Tyreek Hill fan. He's always going to be a Chief because he got his first ring there. He got his start there. But now he has added excitement to it by saying, hey, I'm going to beat my former team in Arrowhead. So I'm like, bring it, buddy. Bring it. We're ready for you.
Hot take. He got his ring there, singular. He's not getting any more.
No.
He's not getting any more. You got one ring to rule them all. That's it, buddy.
That's it.
That's all you're getting.
Is that right?
So, Brian, any thoughts on that game?
I can't get past the fact that I was looking at a stat that said the 3 fastest wide receivers were all in the Miami Dolphins team, all over running in the open field over 21 miles an hour. And they're like, yeah, it turns out like Tyreek Hill, as we know, as fast as he is, turns out he's got some teammates up there who are also pretty quick. So apparently Tua's doing what he has to do to get the ball in their hands. And as we can see, 70-20, it was happening that day. So you know what, they are formidable. Gosh, it's going to be fun to see what happens with them. But yeah, it was very impressive. I was laughing hysterically. I was at a birthday party when I saw that score, and I was like,
absolutely.
Yeah, so that was
we'll
great.
Be watching them in Germany later. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to throw out my favorite stat from that game, and it was that the Broncos had a return touchdown. And so I looked at the fantasy score, because that's really the easiest way to get stats for an individual player and contextualize how well they did. So the guy who got the return, I don't know what his name is because I don't care, but he had 10 return attempts. He returned 10 kickoffs. So 10% of the time, I think a good return person is going to get a touchdown, right?
I think statistically that makes sense. I think that
statistically makes sense. And so the Broncos had 10 returns. 10 kickoff returns in one game because he gave up 10 touchdowns.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Points. That's how you get to that number.
And you know what? And the head coach, dude, he did not want to do he didn't want to break the record. He just wanted to tie it. And I think because he was a ball boy, he's a Denver Broncos fan.
You saw his backstory. They wouldn't interview him in 2022. I mean, that was just straight up insult. I'm just loving how many bad decisions the Broncos keep stacking.
Yeah.
They got.
Did you see the one guy? He goes, I'm tired of losing. I've been here for 7 years and I lose every year. I'm so sick and tired of it. You saw that?
Yeah.
That was
great.
Yeah. He was
I'm not sick and tired of it.
Demoralization. That's what demoralization looks like. He's like, I'm tired of losing so much. And that's and I get it. Yeah. If I were him, I'd feel the same way.
Well, force a trade. I don't know. That's the answer. That's apparently a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then there was also this minor story at Arrowhead before we get into the game. Apparently, somebody who plays guitar or something like that went to the game. Brian, you keep up on pop culture better than I do? What are we talking about?
I am over it as of yesterday. If I can be completely honest with you, every social media thing related to the Chiefs is accompanied by a Taylor Swift topic. I mean, it's all over the place over here. Lawrence, the Free State said like there's a rumor that Taylor Swift is here with Travis Kelce. We don't know about it. Flooded. Next thing you know, Swifties down the line, all of Mastery, hoping to see Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. And then all the other businesses in Lawrence are starting doing the same thing. It was just like, everyone like goofing around about how they're in town moving around, and I was like, okay, I'm over it. I can't. Here's my take on that was, could we please have done this at the first week of the postseason? Let's ride out that honeymoon period for 6 to 8 weeks, have a lot of fun there, and then we deal with the real relationship stuff in the off season. But no, we were doing that at the beginning of the season. So come week 9, 10. Oh my gosh, who knows what's going to happen? But for now, I hope they have fun. I hope it goes the whole season. But I really, really wish this would have played out maybe week 17 or the beginning of the postseason.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my honest take. I love it. I think it's great. I think they're a great couple. I sincerely hope this is for real. I honestly think that it is. I'm aware there's a chance this is a publicity stunt. I'm aware that there can be an agent sitting here saying, Travis Kelce, you're going to get paid for this. But I don't know. That sweet box meeting the parents is a big deal. Yeah. You know, hanging out with mom's a big deal. It really is. And it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm not going to name any names, but you're going to know who I'm talking about. The first person from our friend group to get married was not the dude we ever thought was going to settle down. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
And this has those vibes. This has a level of real. I look at it as these are two people I never thought would settle down. I don't know either one of them, obviously, but they're two individuals that I like. And so I'm rooting for this. And if there's a little bit of, side type of stuff, I think that there's, a level of that we're going to get as the defending Super Bowl champions. And if the focus can be on crap outside of the locker room and nobody pays attention to what the team's doing, so be it. I know Dwayne feels similar.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love all 400,000 of you Swifties. Come on, we bring you on into the kingdom, The more the merrier. We need you guys in Vegas, you know what I mean? So we want Taylor there. We want everybody there. It's really good. And also with the jersey sales of Travis Kelce, insane. He has now got the #1 selling jersey because the Swifties, they now know this new guy named Travis Kelce, but we've known him forever.
I mean, Brian, they're going to elevate, the Swifties are going to elevate his career similar to the way that Kanye West elevated Paul McCartney's career when 3-4 seconds or 4 or 5 minutes, right? Whatever the name of that song was, it was good. But do you remember when Kanye brought Paul McCartney to everybody? That was so awesome, right?
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. Let's not forget Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo. That's probably a little bit more of a discussion point
For his future outside of Kansas City, because we got to realize he's about to be 34 years old in like a week or so. So with that being said, tight ends don't really play too much further past 36. So he's looking at life after football, and I think it's a hell of a move. I think he made a great move on the chessboard.
All right, Stacey, bring this back to Brian's point of view, because I know that you're not geeking out the way that we are.
I was all for it, and like seeing her in the clips that they showed during the game, I was like, oh, it's so exciting. But then today at work, when I heard a couple Swifties have a conversation about who's this Travis Kelce guy, and it's really awesome that Taylor is going to bring him into the fame and the stardom, and now people will know who he is. I was just kind of like, anybody that's been in the NFL or knows anything about the NFL knows who Travis Kelce is.
So I don't know what housing prices are down here, but is under a rock more affordable than buying a condo uptown? I just gotta ask that.
Under the rock is more affordable.
Under the rock
I
is more
sell
affordable.
real estate, and so the condos are pretty high. You get a good price on renting them, but
Swifties' priorities are not
there.
NFL football.
No.
Yeah. So Brian, I'm going to ask if you remember this, because this is one of my favorite Taylor Swift stories. So Brian and I are both from Hays, Kansas. It's the middle of nowhere farm country, 4 hours west of Kansas City. If you go just over half an hour north of Stockton, Kansas, the Rooks County Fair does a good concert every year. When Brian and I were in college at Port State University, I remember it being a Saturday and I had a wedding, so I didn't go, but Taylor Swift played up there for $10. $10. She had at least one song on the radio. She had Tim McGraw, and I think Teardrops on My Guitar was on the radio as well. But so I obviously didn't go to that, but I just picture if I would have gone to that show, I probably would have gone to her Eras tour. I probably would have gone to her Eras tour and paid whatever it was, just so I could say, hey, I paid $500 to see Taylor Swift 2 times. Or I paid $1,000 for one and 10 the other. I don't know, one of those two. But yeah.
My hot take on this, NFL, not for long. I don't think this is for long. That's I want happiness. I want love. I don't think it's for long. I think this is not for long.
So Brian's being a jerk. We got it. Okay. So let's get on to the fifth biggest
realistic, dude.
Fifth biggest thing that happened over this weekend, which was the Chiefs won a game. They played a horrible team. This is so bad. So living where I do, I have family from Chicago. I live very close to Chicago. It's an hour and a half to downtown. In fact, I flew to Houston from Chicago. It's easier to get here from there than Milwaukee. But nobody that's a fan, they've given up. They gave up on that team pretty much during the preseason, but it's just done. I mean, at one point I sent a text to my uncles and my cousin that I played golf with a couple weeks ago. I don't remember what they said, but it was bad and it was quick. So I'm gonna read that text thread real quick. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So I just said this game quit being fun at halftime, which I stand by that. Immediately, my uncle, no, way before that, my cousin directly after that. I turned it off after the fumble. It's as thorough a butt kicking as you'll see in the NFL. And then my other uncle just said way before halftime, major changes needed. It's like, you're not even going to argue. No, it's like they just know. They know that this is a top 5 draft pick coming, probably number 1. They know Fields isn't the answer. I mean, the most passionate Chicago sports fan I know is a guy I play fantasy baseball with, worked with for a number of years. All in on the White Sox, all in on the Bears, all in on the Bulls, all in on the Blackhawks. He hasn't even joked about the Bears in probably 3 years. I kind of feel bad for those guys, but there's a really nice polka song out of Wisconsin called "The Bears Still Suck," and pretty true.
Well, I give credit to did you see the newspaper there in Chicago? They give F's on every aspect of their. Yeah, it was just domination all around, right? Tell me I'm wrong. So what was the biggest domination y'all think? I don't know. What was the biggest moment of domination, y'all?
What do you think? Biggest domination?
Biggest domination in this game? Our defense. Our defense is scary good. I think
How about that, right?
I think we're a complete top 5 defense. I knew the offense was going to do what it's going to do. I mean, when you have Showtime, Mahomes breaking that 25,000 yard record, fastest player to ever get there, that was awesome. You know, so now we can say that we have the current GOAT.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. We were talking earlier about like the defense always takes 6-7 games to gel. Now we're gelling early. We're getting our defense going in the early running here. So
we're gelling like a felon if Magellan was a felon, like those Dr. Scholl's.
I remember those commercials.
Yeah. Exactly. No, we're gelling. They're gelling. No, so through the 3 games, they've given up 33 points and 3 touchdowns. And let's keep in mind 10 of those points and 1 of those touchdowns was in dunk time against the Bears because Gabbard effectively scored him.
Yeah.
He was great in the preseason.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whenever Shane Bichelle would have been better.
I think Shane Bichelle would have been better. You know, watching Gabbard made me miss the hell out of Shane Bichelle. You know, I kind of like, I feel like the guy that dumped the wrong girl and like, damn, I want her back. I need her back. I need to apologize. That's how I feel.
Well, it's like the guy Drew that Taylor Swift talks about in Teardrops in My Guitar. That was a real story. That was their first breakup song. Actually, Tim McGraw was a breakup song too.
Really?
That whole album of breakup songs. Yeah.
Oh, wow. She's with Tim, huh?
But I remember watching an interview with her, and Drew, after she was famous and got a CMA, showed up on her driveway one night. She's like, dude, kind of a lot's happened since then. I'm pretty over this. You helped me get to a point, but
right.
I remember this same story you just said in 2003. You said the exact same thing in 2003. I remember you saying this exact thing.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
Yeah, I remember he was like
I've never
dude,
claimed to have new material. Okay, so we all like the defense. What besides the defense did you like, Stacey?
You know, I gotta say, like, one player that I'm specifically becoming more and more impressed with every week is probably Justin Watson. He seems to be like really coming into his groove. He's just like, he's clicking with Pat. He's running his routes. They can't cover him. I think he's going to have a breakout season.
And I think he's faster than what people give him credit for. That guy is like, he's definitely there. And also, I like Rashee Rice. Yeah. I think as a rookie, he's showing some promise. I see some flashes in Sky, but I'm still waiting for Sky to be Sky. You know, the sky the limit. But I like the return guy that we got from the Broncos. I can't think of his name right now. Number 12.
12, yeah.
Washington or something.
He looks like a confident return guy.
Yeah, he's going to be our new return guy now that Richie James is on the IR. So I like him. I think that he's really good. I don't really know why Justin Ross isn't getting targeted more.
Well, exactly. So my favorite part of that game, so when I was doing the writer's room recap, I was compiling all the notes. Nobody could pick an offensive or defensive player of the game.
No.
I mean, that's about as good of a situation as you can run into, where it's like there's nobody that
Balanced.
stood out because there's nobody that, you know,
we like balance.
perform.
Balance is good. I like balance. Yeah, a lot of options.
So I just went vanilla and said it's Patrick Mahomes, I guess, you know, for the offense. And for the yeah, exactly. So but yeah, great shirt by the way.
Great.
But my defensive pick was L'Jarius Sneed because he had the biggest hit of the day. I don't even really know what else to say. I mean, I guess McDuffie knocked a fumble loose, but I mean, really, that's the straw grasping we're doing. And
what about Mike Dana? Dana's
been holding it
playing
down.
great this year.
Contract year's undefeated. It
really is.
Mhm.
Really is.
Yeah, need to remember, like that first game, we were right there too. Also, like we could be very easily be a 3-0 team. Obviously, we're not. That's a situation, but we're right there. Some mishaps happened, but we did the correction and everything. But yeah, it's gelling all around. The offense is figuring it out, and everyone's seems like they're getting along well. And the defense, that's my story right there. I agree with Dwayne there. It's like the defense is just doing what it needs to do to make it happen and bring on the Jets, man.
Yeah. Okay. So talking about the Jets, at the beginning of the year, I think Brian picked the Jets to win, but that was when they actually had a quarterback. They don't anymore. So we wanted to just let Brian out of that one and say that he can retroactively pick a third win for us.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I think we're all picking the Packers. We're all picking the Chiefs to beat the Jets. Biggest concern that I have with this game is I think their defense is good enough to make the Chiefs one-dimensional. What I think they'll try to do is take away the running game. But I also think that our defense is good enough to take enough balls from Zach Wilson that we can outscore him on defense alone.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be.
I think Zach, I almost called him Dak. Well, he throws interceptions like
Same
that.
thing.
Same thing. Zach, Dak, so I think Zach is going to give us two. He's going to bless us with 2 interceptions. One is going to be a pick 6.
Yeah, I can't poke holes in that, so pencil in whoever does that as the defensive player of the game, even though there isn't going to be anybody that sets himself apart. This is going to be an ugly game. It's going to be an ugly game. And I just I'm going to pour a big 40 out we're not going to get the Mahomes-Rodgers. It's cursed. That matchup is cursed.
Bummer.
Isn't that crazy?
This is our 5th try. They had 2 opportunities to close the deal and place in the Super Bowl. And then it was a Mahomes injury the first time, a Rodgers injury the second. And it just sucks that we're not going to get to see that matchup because it's what everybody's been looking for forever.
Yeah, here's hoping for next season. We'll see what happens. We talked about this earlier. We don't know if it's going to happen.
Flag on the plate.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Maybe Tom Brady will be in the stands, put on a Jets jersey, and just walk on and like, hey, I'll throw some balls around here. Maybe that'll happen.
He knows better than that. I mean, he knows better than that. Why isn't Rodgers playing? They don't have a goddamn line, and they never did. Nope. Tom Brady's not coming back to stand behind that.
No. Do y'all think that the Jets are going to get another quarterback after we just demolish Zach? Do you think they're going to kick the tires on that and say, hey, well, let's find us a guy?
I heard some discussions about Russell Wilson being a thing to discuss. So the Broncos have spent so much money on him. And yeah, I heard some discussion around it. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well,
that's a wild thing, but I heard some discussions about that.
Well, he's available when anytime Sean Payton opens his mouth, he's this crusty, pedantic, old just.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't. You can tell he's not feeling dangerous.
Blaming everything on Russell Wilson. He's been doing it all season, and Wilson hasn't been the problem. I think the biggest problem is Payton screwed up the defense. But let's stay away from the Broncos. No, so the names that I've seen thrown around the most as a potential Jets trade target, Jameis Winston, but with Derek Carr potentially missing a game this coming week, they can't trade Winston. No, he's got to be their backup quarterback. So Kirk Cousins comes up. Brian's Kirk Cousins. I don't see a world where the Jets fit that into any financial paradigm that exists. No. This is a hard cap league. If this wasn't a hard cap league, the Jets and the Broncos would be completely bailed on everything they have, and they'd be buying whoever they wanted to. But this is a hard cap league. Right. This is a hard cap league. So I don't know that they can get anybody. I mean, I don't see a world where they fit Kirk Cousins onto their balance sheet.
I mean, and I don't know how that works. I mean, he's having such a great year at the Vikings too. The Vikings not going to let that. I mean, I can't imagine that.
Are there any free agents out there? What about Carson Trash Wentz? Oh, I didn't say that.
So his name comes up. His name comes up. So when we're getting into real talk, he probably will be taking snaps from the Jets at some point.
Yes.
And it's just throw up Zach Wilson's numbers versus his worst season, and you're still picking Wentz.
Yeah, Wentz is better than Zach Wilson. What about Marcus Mariota? He can actually run. He doesn't really get hurt.
So Mariota's not a free agent. He's a signed backup for the Eagles.
Oh, that's right.
They traded him
forgot.
to the Jets.
Right. Yeah, no.
But it's going to be a trade, and it's going to cost them.
I think it's a Zach Wilson show for a while now for them, so they got to figure out how to make that work. And I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of running plays.
Now that I'm looking at it from a hard cap standpoint, Carson Wentz makes sense. He's better than what they had.
Just throw down some money and ask Chad Henne to come out of retirement.
I think they already have. He said, no, I'm coaching high school football. So there you go. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 Jets, I would rather coach high school football than play in the NFL for you clowns. So there you go.
I just want to let everyone know that I was looking forward to the Jets this season to see what they're going to do. And then we saw what happened. And here we are now, clowning around.
They did what they do.
That's what they do. And don't get me started on the And don't get me started on the Cowboys. Cowboys, same situation, right? What happened to the Cowboys? What happened there? The defense, that dude, what's his name? Is it Diggs or whatever?
Okay, so here's the kind way to refer to this. Trayvon Diggs tore his ACL in practice. They weren't right for that game. No, they have one game to prove that. But Dak Prescott is challenging Sean Payton for the worst press conferences.
Right.
Yes, he is.
By saying it's like, oh, you guys put us up on that 20-0 mountain. No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Oh, we did.
Jerry Jones put you there.
Right.
And yes, you guys are cleaning his mess up since, I don't know, what year did you buy the team?
89.
Since then. Yeah, since then.
Is Diggs out for, is his career over or is he just out for the season?
Oh, he's out for the season. I mean, an ACL.
You're done.
That's a big one. I know.
6 months minimum.
Torn ACL, 6 months minimum.
But his career, he still has a career. I just that would really make my heart break.
You have players that have come back faster. Their names are Jamal Charles and Adrian Peterson.
Right.
So there is a precedent. But you're looking at 6 months.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, after watching the domination that they've been doing, and I was like, it was this. You guys saw my text messages. Like, this was like extraordinary how well that defense was doing. And then after watching them play Arizona, it was just like, this is completely different than what I'm watching right now. So, and my boss, the guy he's a Cowboys fan, and he
they don't deserve that.
You know what?
Don't apologize. They don't deserve that.
I like that. They don't deserve it. Huh?
These two have to live with that crap.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys are America's team, so we all have to deal with it. But these guys lived it.
Yeah. We the boys, and they making songs, and they swear they're going to the Super Bowl every year.
And y'all didn't have a team long enough that the Cowboys are probably still the most popular team here, right?
In Texas, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Houston.
They're trying to get with the Texans.
Last weekend, which was like the most exciting thing.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we lose to the Raiders every once in a while. The Jags have the Jags should get our grades to lose to the division rival. For all the John Anderson fans out there, yes, we are swinging. We're on a swing bench thing.
Yeah, you guys are having fun over there.
Only in Houston. H-Town.
Only in Houston. There we go. All right. So anything else for the past week or the upcoming week we want to get into before we get into final takes?
Oh my gosh, I want to see that defense keep doing what it's doing. Keep showing the domination there. I think the Jets, it's gonna be a fun game to watch. In fact, the next 5 games are gonna be I think we're gonna have some fun the next 5 games. So keep everyone stay healthy. Everyone stay in a position where stay healthy. That's the big thing. Don't put yourself in a position where some nasty thing can happen in a week, 7, 8, 9 or whatever. So do what you do, stay healthy, don't take unnecessary risks, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Take it one game at a time.
Yep.
One game at a time. I just want to see our run game a little more visible. I'm not sold on Matt Nagy's play calling. I just want to see Andy Reid just give me the playbook. Here, let's do this, let's do that. Hell, I think Pat can call his own plays. Literally, he's earned it. Fastest player to 25,000. Why not? Let him just do a Peyton Manning, call his own play.
Real question: are we sure there's not more of that going on than we think?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of pass plays. You know, who stands to benefit the most from that?
Right.
Just saying. Anyway,
That's right.
okay. So Leo is in the show, which you've been on before. So we do final takes. It can be about anything you want. So Brian, do you have anything good for us?
KU ranked number 24th in the AP poll, and we're going to enjoy that for exactly 1 week because we play Texas on Saturday, I believe. And I got to hand it to you, Dwayne. I think Texas, they are really looking good. So it's going to take every
Texas,
talent.
Look them horns.
It's going to take every.
They're doing it.
It's going to take every talent and every luck and every skill that KU has, and Texas is going to have an off day, and even then, it's going to be to have a chance for us to do anything.
So you got the Jayhawks beating the Longhorns.
I that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
The exact opposite.
Right.
My heart obviously is.
The heart wants it, but
the brain up
your
here.
brain is telling you different.
My
Look
brain
at it like this: Kansas City loves to take people from Texas anyway. So we have a history of grabbing Longhorns. So
There we go.
you know
that's where the best players are from. Texas.
Yeah, Derek
Absolutely.
Johnson.
Derek Johnson.
That's my little brother.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel that. But so you know what? I'm hoping for a competitive game. That's what I'll say. I'm hoping for a competitive game. So we'll see what happens.
Priest Holmes.
Yeah, there you go.
The best.
Right, so we're gonna geek out on the Longhorns.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, KU football. Cheers to that. I'm right there with you. This is I have to pay attention to college football. It's the weirdest thing. I've never had to do that.
Yeah, me neither.
Except for a couple of pockets of time. All right, Dwayne, what do you got?
Oh, I hope Colorado can upset USC. I am a bandwagon fan for the Buffaloes because I like prime time, but that tail whooping or that butt whooping, as he said, good old fashioned butt whooping was very humbling because Oregon, they look like they didn't even need to be on the same. Like they made Colorado look like a Division II or Division III school. Like it wasn't even close. But I got a funny feeling that USC is going to beat them too. So it kills my 11-1 prediction for Colorado. My heart was saying that, but my brain is now saying 9-3.
Here's the other thing though. This might not be the worst possible thing, and I agree with what Dion said at the end of that game. Now's the time to get us.
Yes,
they're not getting worse. He's going to go out and find more.
The worst. That's the worst we're going to be. Now it's time to get your shots in now. And I got to say, I was watching that for as confident as Deion Sanders is, and as like he likes to project the confidence and speak about that and backs it up. And I was always thinking like, being humbled like that, I wonder how does a person with that mindset handle that? And that was how he handled that. I'm like, I need to remember that. Like whenever our kiddos, like they grow up, it's like, you want to be confident, that's fine. But when you're going to get humbled, how are you going to handle that? It's like, get me now. You better, because I'm going to get better. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to get better. So don't think I'm giving up. I'm not going anywhere. So I like that mindset.
Yeah, I like that too. So I'll give you one more without just completely putting you on the spot. So for mine, before I flew down here, I went and saw a rock band at the House of Blues in downtown Chicago, which is an incredible venue, by the way. But I saw this Canadian band called the Glorious Sons. If you haven't
heard of them.
Okay, so they are great live.
Really?
Yeah, they are great live. They had an opener called Velveteen. So Velveteen did some seriously cool stuff. They had this two drummers. So they had a double drum kit with a shared cymbal, and they were doing this crazy double bass playing in sync. It was the weirdest thing in the world. Brian's a drummer. I think you would have loved what they did. But they had some cool crowd interaction. So the first thing that they did is one of the drummers jumps on the platform behind his drum. One of his grip roadie guys from the side threw a snare drum at it. And it was one of the tall marching snare drums. And so he went out to the crowd, had somebody hold it, and he's sitting there playing on it very aggressively. So that was cool. But the female lead guitar player, lead singer, one up that one when she went out, had 4 people hold her. I think she had just a Fender electric guitar.
Wow.
So she had them hold it up. She put people's hands on the fret and she played it like a pedal steel.
Wow.
So that was super
Wow.
cool. And that was the opener. So then the Glorious Sons came out. If you have not listened to them, the best way I can describe them, they are a 70s band that is trapped in the modern times. So
Wow.
I was trying to think of a comp for them, and it was bits and pieces of what Boston did, but it kind of reminded me of a combination of the Cult and Head East. But they rocked really hard. They were loud. They were fun. It was a lot of fun. So anybody that likes to say things like they don't make good music anymore, rock is dead, so forth, these guys are making the music that you say you want.
Right.
So look for it. They should be playing bigger venues than where I saw them. I'm happy I saw them there, but they're really better than that. Best song they have is called Sawed Off Shotgun.
Wow.
If you can't get excited listening to that song, you don't like music.
Yeah, you just don't.
All right.
All right, what do you got for us?
Okay, well, I guess going back to college football, I've gone to a lot of schools. So, but my grad school, University of Louisville, they are so far undefeated, 4-0.
Really?
Which is great being in the ACC conference. Their quarterback reminds me a lot of Lamar Jackson, and I am loving the Brom era, as we call it, with the coaching staff. So I'm excited to see what the rest of the season has to bring.
That sounds great. Hey, y'all need to take Josh to a karaoke bar. I want to hear some karaoke stories. And Josh, I want you to sing Copacabana and Dealer's Choice with everyone else. But yeah, get yourself to a karaoke bar. I want to see some videos. All right.
The last time I did that, it was hard to go to work. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. I'm totally down with that. So you'll notice I'm not saying no. The last time I went to a karaoke bar, I ordered $70 worth of Taco Bell off of DoorDash.
Wow. Perfect.
Which is easier than it sounds.
Sounds like a good time.
That should be hard. And
9,000 calories.
Wow.
This was last Thursday, and I was not anywhere close to the last person from my group home. So we'll leave it at that. And yeah. So once again, from Little Woodrow's, aka Arrowhead, here in H-Town. Yeah. Go Chiefs from us here on site, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully recapping a big win over the Jets.
Go Chiefs!